Hey guys, I'm going to go through a few questions from the 2022 Edexcel Higher paper, but I'm only going to go through a few of the questions that came up. Okay. All right. So a delivery company has a total of 160 cars and vans. The number of cars to the number of vans is 3 to 7. Each car and each van uses electricity or diesel or petrol. 1/8 of the cars use electricity, 25% of the cars use diesel, and the rest of the cars use petrol. Work out the number of cars that use petrol. So first and foremost, we're going to work out how many cars there are and how many vans there are. So what the hell just happened? Hey guys, Bismillah. Hey guys, so I'm going to go through a few higher. Hey guys, so I'm going to go through a few of the higher GCSE maths questions from paper 1, 2022. Okay, so the first question I'm going to go through: a delivery company has a total of 160 cars and vans. The number of cars to the number of vans is 3 to 7. So based on this ratio, we can work out how many cars there are and how many vans there are. So cars to vans is 3 to 7, and we already know that there is a total of 160 vehicles. So the total parts 3 plus 7 is equal to 10. So I'm going to do 160 divided by 10, which is going to give me 16. So there are 16 per part. Now we are only focused on cars in this question. So we are going to do 3 multiplied by 16, which is going to give me 48. So there are 48 cars in total. Now 1/8 of the cars use electricity, so we are going to do 1/8 of 48. So you're going to do 48 divided by 8, which is going to be 6. So 6 cars use electricity. And 25% of the cars use diesel. Now 25 percentage is out of 100, so it's 25 over 100, which is 1/4. Now we are doing 1/4 of 48, which is 48 divided by 4, which is going to be 12. So 12 cars use diesel. So we've got 6 cars plus 12 cars, which is going to be 18 cars altogether. The rest of them use petrol. So we are going to do 48, subtract 18, which is going to give us 30. So that means there are 30 cars in total that use petrol. Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's have a go at another question. Okay, here is a regular hexagon and a regular pentagon. Work out the size of the angle marked X. You must show all your working. So the formulas I'm going to use in this question are 360 divided by the number of sides is going to give me the exterior angle. And then 180 take away the exterior angle is equal to the interior angle because they lie on a straight line. So let's start with a hexagon. We are going to do 360 divided by 6. It's a 6-sided shape, so the exterior angle is going to be 60 degrees. So this angle here is going to be 60 degrees. Angles on a straight line add up to 180. So 180 take away 60 is equal to 120. So the interior angle for a hexagon is going to be 120 degrees. That angle there is going to be 120 degrees. We're going to do the same thing for a pentagon. So 360 divided by 5 is equal to 72. So the exterior angle is 72. Angles on a straight line add up to 180. So 180 take away 72 is 108 degrees. So this angle here is going to be 108 degrees. Now these 3 angles are around a point. Angles around a point add up to 360. So I'm going to do 120 plus 108, which is equal to 228 degrees. And then 360 take away 228, which is going to be 132 degrees. So the value of X is going to be 132 degrees. Okay, let's move on. Let's have a go at this question. Here are 2 cubes, A and B. Cube A has a mass of 81 and cube B has a mass of 128. Work out the density of cube A to the density of cube B. So first we're going to work out the volume of both of these cubes. To work out the volume, I'm going to do 3 times 3 times 3, which is going to give me 27 centimeter cubed. And the volume of this one is going to be 4 times 4 times 4, which is going to be 64 centimeter cubed. So that is the volume. Now the question is asking for density, and we should know the formula. Density is equal to mass divided by volume. So we're going to do that for shape A and shape B. So for cube A and cube B. So cube A, you're going to do 81 divided by 27, which is going to be 3. And cube B, we are going to do 128 divided by 64, which is going to be 2. The question was the ratio of the density of A to the density of B, which is just going to be 3:2. And that's it. That's going to be your answer. Okay, let's have a go at the next question. The table shows the amount of snow in centimeters that fell each day for a total of 30 days. Work out the estimate for the mean amount of snow per day. So the first thing we're going to do is work out the midpoint for your group data. This is your group data. So the midpoint is going to be 5, 15, 25, 35, and 45. Now you're going to multiply your midpoints together with your frequency to work out what you call fx. So 5 times 8 is 40, 15 times 10 is 150, 25 times 7 is 175, 35 times 2 is 70, and 45 times 3 is 135. If you don't know how to do any of these calculations, you can go on the side and do them. Now, to work out mean, you need to do total fx divided by total frequency. We already know the total frequency is going to be 30. You can add it up again to double check. So 8, add 10, add 7, add 2, add 3. So that is 18, add 12, which is, yes, 30. Okay. And then I'm going to work out the total fx. So 40, add 150, add 175, add 70, add 135. I'm going to group these together. That's 190. I'm going to leave the 175 and I'm going to group those two together. I'm going to get 205. So I'm going to go to the side and add these up. So 190, add 175, add 205. And that is going to give me 570. So the total fx is going to be 570. I need to do total fx divided by total f. So I'm going to do 570 divided by 30. Simplify that to give me 57 divided by 3. And you can go to the side and do long or short division. So 3 goes into 5 once, so the remainder 2, and it goes into 27 9 times. So 57 divided by 3 is going to be 19. So your answer is going to be 19 centimeters. Okay, let's move on. Let's have a go at this question. A cube is placed on top of a cuboid as shown in the diagram to form a solid. A cube has edges of the length 4 centimeters. A cube has dimensions 7 by 6 by 5. So to work out the total surface area of this, we have 6 sides of your cuboid at the bottom. Subtract the area of this. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides of the cube. Okay, so I can write that out in words. So I can say 6 cuboid faces, take away 1 cube face, added to 5 cube faces. Okay, in terms of words, what we are doing. Now, algebraically, in terms of numbers, we are going to create an equation. So for your 6 cuboid faces, you're going to do, because there are 2 of these, there are 2 of these, and there are 2 of these, we are going to do 2 bracket 5 times 6 plus 2 bracket 6 times 7 plus bracket 2 5 times 7, and then subtract the 1 cube face, which is 4 times 4, and then add the 5 cube faces, so plus 5 bracket 4 times 4. So let's start all of these. So 2 bracket 30 plus 2 bracket 42 plus 2 bracket 35 minus 16 plus 5 bracket 16. Simplify that even further. 60, add 84, add 70, take away 16, add 80. Now I'm going to group all of these up together, and I'm going to get 214, take away 16, add 80. 214 take away 16 is going to be 198. 198 add 80 is going to give me 278. And that's my area in terms of a surface area of this solid, 278 centimeters squared. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so the sweets in a bag, the sweets are lime, strawberry, or orange flavored. In the bag, lime to strawberry to orange is 9 to 4 to X. A random sweet is going to be taken from the bag, and the probability is lime is 3/7. Work out the value of X. So let's write it out again. Lime to strawberry to orange is 9 to 4 to X. That means the total from what we can see is 9 plus 4, which is 13 plus X. So the total right now is 13 plus X. So taking the probability of taking out a lime in terms of algebra from our ratio and the total is going to be 9 out of the total, 13 plus X. We also know the probability of lime is 3/7. So it equals to 3/7. When a fraction equals to a fraction, you cross multiply. So 9 times 7 is 63. 63 is equal to 3 bracket 13 plus X. Expand that. So 63 is equal to 39 plus 3X. Take away 39 on both sides of the equation. So 3X is equal to 24. Therefore, X is equal to 8. And that's it. That's your answer. X is equal to 8. Now you can double check your answer and see if this works. So if X was equal to 8, that means that the total would be 9 add 4 add 8, which is 21. That means the probability of getting a lime would be 9 out of 21. And if I simplify that, I get 3/7. And the question did say the probability of taking a lime is 3/7. That's how you can double check your answer to make sure you've got it correct. Okay? Okay, let's move on. Okay, express 0.117. Only the 1 and the 7 are recurring. As a fraction, you must show all your working. So I'm going to label it as X. Make sure you label it as X. X equals to 0.117. Only the 1 and the 7 here are recurring. 10x is equal to 1.17 recurring. 100x is equal to 11.71 recurring. And 1000x is equal to 117.17 recurring. Now the two that have a matching recurring after the decimal point is 10x and 1000x. So I'm going to do 1000x, which is 117.17 recurring. Take away 10x, which is going to be 1.17 recurring. The 1 and the 7 recurring cancel each other out, and I'm left with 990x is equal to 116. Now to work out the value of x, I will divide it by 990 on both sides, and I get 116 divided by 990, and that's my answer. It's not a calculated question, so we do not need to give this answer in its most simplest form. Okay? All right, let's move on. Okay, a first aid test has two parts, a theory test and a practical test. The probability of passing theory is 0.75. The probability of passing one of the two parts is 0.36. The two events are independent. Work out the probability of passing the practical test. So independent means that if you pass your theory, it won't affect whether or not you pass your practical test. So whatever the probabilities of the passing and failing theory test, it doesn't affect the probabilities of passing or failing the practical one. Okay, so we're going to create a little tree diagram so we can visualize this. This is the probability of theory. Pass, fail, and then we'll do it for the practical. This is pass, fail, pass, fail. Okay, so it says in this question that the probability of passing the theory test is 0.75. So we straight away know that this is 0.75. Probabilities add up to give me 1, so this is going to be 0.25. We should straight away know that. Now we don't know the probability of passing or failing practical test, but it's going to be, we're going to just label it as X and Y. X and Y. It's the same for the top and the bottom. The probability of passing, let's call it X. The probability of failing, let's call it Y. Now it says the probability of passing only one of the two is 0.36. So the probability of passing and then failing, or failing and then passing, probability of both, either one of these is 0.36. So based on this information, we can create an equation. So 0.75 multiplied by y plus 0.25 multiplied by x is equal to 0.36. Now we've got two missing values, an x and a y. And when we have two missing values, we do simultaneous equations to solve them. Another equation we can create, we know that 0.75 and 0.21 equals 1. Probabilities always add up to 1. Therefore, over here, x plus y is also going to equal to 1. So we can also create another equation, y add x add y, or y add x is equal to 1. For simultaneous equations, you need x or y's to be the same in order to work it out. I'm going to make y's the same in this question. So I'm going to multiply the bottom one by 0.75 and the top one by 1 to make my y values the same. So I'm going to be left with two new equations, 0.75y plus 0.75x is equal to 0.75, and the top one stays the same, 0.75y plus 0.25x is equal to 0.36. Now I'm going to subtract these equations and the y's are going to cancel out. 0.75x take away 0.25x is going to give me 0.5x, and 0.75 take away 0.36 is going to give me 0.39. Now it's being multiplied by x, so I'm going to divide it by 0.5 on both sides of the equation. So x is equal to 0.39 divided by 0.5. How do you divide fractions? Instead of saying divided by 0.5, I'm going to write that as a half. 0.5 can also be written as a half. So I'm going to say x is equal to 0.39 divided by a half. How do you divide fractions? You keep change flip. So x is equal to 0.39 multiplied by 2 over 1. So multiply by 2. And I'm going to get x is equal to 0.38. And that's going to be my final answer. Okay? Okay, let's move on. Y is directly proportional to the square root of t. Y is 5 when t is 9. So we are going to create two equations. The first one is y is directly proportional k multiplied by the square root of t. Substitute in the values, y is 15 and t is 9. So 15 is equal to k multiplied by the square root of 9. So 15 is equal to k multiplied by the square root of 9 is 3. And then to get k by itself, you divide it by 3 on both sides, and you get k is 5. Once I've got the value of k, I'm going to put it back into the equation, and I get y is equal to 5 multiplied by root t. And that's that equation created. Next one, t is inversely proportional, so t equals to k divided by the cube of x, so x cubed. T is 8, x is 2. So 8 is equal to k divided by 2 cubed. 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So 8 equals k divided by 8. Multiply by 8 on both sides. K is equal to 64. Put that back into the equation. And I get t is equal to 64 divided by x cubed. And that's my second equation. Now it says find the formula for y in terms of x. Now I'm going to connect these two equations together with a matching letter. I've got a t here and I've got a t here, so I'm going to connect them with t. Now this one says root t, this one says t is equal to 64 over x cubed. So I'm going to replace the t here with 64 over x cubed because t is equal to 64 over x cubed. So I've got y is equal to 5 multiplied by the square root of 64 over x cubed. I'm going to split that, so y is equal to 5 multiplied by the square root of 64 over the square root of x cubed. Square root of 64 is 8, so y equals 5 multiplied by 8 over the square root of x cubed. And I can simplify that and I can get y is equal to 5 times 8 is 40, so y equals to 40 over the square root of x cubed. Now the square root and the x cubed don't cancel out because this is a square root, not a cube root. Okay, and this is a cube, not a square, so they won't cancel each other out. And this is going to be a final answer. Okay? All right, let's have a go at the next question. Okay, so work out the value of 5 and 4/9 to the power minus a half, multiplied by 4 and 2/3, divided by 2 minus root 3. Now, this fraction sign is a divide, so instead of saying the fraction sign, I'm literally just going to write a divide sign. So I'm going to say 5 and 4/9 to the power minus a half, multiplied by 4 and 2/3, divided by 2 to the power minus 3. Now I'm going to convert everything into improper fractions. So 5 times 9 is 45, plus 4 is 49 over 9 to the power minus a half, multiplied by 4 times 2 is 12, add 2 is 14 over 3, divided by, I'll work this out, it becomes 1 over 2 to the power 3. Now I'm going to get rid of the half, and to do that I square root it. To get rid of the minus, you flip the fraction. So you put 9 over 49, and then you square root it to get rid of the half. So root 9 over root 49, multiplied by 14 over 3, divided by 1 over 8. I'm going to simplify that further. So it becomes 3 over 7, multiplied by 14 over 3. And how do you divide fractions? You keep change flip. So multiplied by 8 over 1. Now, I can simplify this because these two simplify, and you could divide them both by 1. You could simplify the 14 and the 7 here as well, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna simplify that further in a second. So I've got 14 over 7 multiplied by 8 over 1. 14 over 7 is equal to 2, and 8 over 1 is just 8. So 2 times 8 is going to be 16. So your final answer for this question is just going to be 16. Okay, let's move on. Okay, solve this, give your answer in the form p plus or minus root q over 2. Okay, so first let's get started. To add or subtract fractions, you make the denominator the same. So you are going to make the denominator 2x minus 1, x minus 1, and the top of the fraction x minus 1 plus 3 times 2x minus 1, and this is equal to 1. So take the denominator to the other side of the equation. So x minus 1 plus 3 bracket 2x minus 1 is equal to 2x minus 1, x minus 1. I'm going to expand everything out in the equation. So I'm going to get x minus 1 plus 6x minus 3 is equal to 2x squared minus 2x minus x plus 1. I'm going to group everything together. So I'm left with 7x minus 4 is equal to 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. You want the equation to equal to 0, so I'm going to take this to the other side of the equation. So 2x squared minus 3x minus 7x is minus 10x. And 1, and then add 4 on the other side gives me add 5 equals 0. And this is my final equation. Now in this equation, I've got an a value, which is 2. I've got a b value, which is 10. And I've got minus 10. And I've got a c value, which is positive 5. I'm going to use the formula minus b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. I'm going to use that quadratic formula to solve this equation and in its most simplified format. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to have minus 10 minus b, so minus 10, plus or minus the square root of bracket minus 10 squared minus bracket 4 times 2 times 5 divided by 2 times 2, which is going to be, which you can simplify in a second. So minus minus cancels each other out, and you are left with positive 10 plus or minus 10 squared is 100 minus 4 times 2 times 5. 2 times 5 is 10, 4 times 10 is 40, so minus 40 over 4. This simplifies to give you 10 plus or minus root 60 over 4. Now you can write this in a more simplified format because you can simplify root 60. So root 60 can be simplified to give you root 4, root 15. So 10 plus or minus root 4, root 15 over 4. So 10 plus or minus 2 root 15 over 4. And now you can divide the equation by 2. So you are left with 5 plus or minus root 15 over 2. And that's your final answer. The reason that we know we have to simplify this further is because this equation was over 4, and in the question they asked you to give it in a fraction format divided by 2. Okay, so this here is going to be a final answer. Okay, let's move on. The center of a circle is a point with the coordinates -1, 3. The point A with the coordinates 6, 8 lies on the circle. Find an equation to the tangent of the circle at A. Give your answer in the form ax plus by plus c equals 0. Okay, so there's 3 steps. Gradient of the radius, gradient of the tangent, equation of the tangent. We're going to start off with gradient of radius. And is going to be in the form m equals y2 take away y1 over x2 take away x1. Now your coordinates are -1, 3, which is the center, and 6, 8, which lies on the circle at where the tangent meets the circle. This is x, this is y, this is x, this is y, 1, 1, 2, 2. You're going to substitute them in, so 8 take away 3 over 6 minus 1, which is going to give me 5 over 7. So the gradient of the radius is going to be 5 over 7. Now the gradient of the tangent, tangent is perpendicular, so it's going to be the negative reciprocal. The negative reciprocal of 5 over 7 is -7 over 5. So m is equal to -7 over 5. Now we're going to start off with the equation. That's 2 steps already done. Now we are just doing the equation of the tangent, which is in y equals mx plus c format. You substitute in the gradient, so y equals -7 over 5x plus c. It passes through the coordinate 6, 8, so you substitute that in. This is the x value, this is the y value. So you get 8 is equal to -7 over 5 multiplied by 6 plus c. So 8 is equal to -42 over 5 plus c. And to get c the subject, you add that on both sides. So c is equal to 8 over 1 plus 42 over 5. You make the denominator the same, so c is equal to 40 plus 42 over 5. So c simplifies to give you 82 over 5. You've got your c value, you've got your m value, so you create your equation. Y is equal to mx plus c. So m, we already know, is -7 over 5, and c is 82 over 5. So based on that, we substitute them into y equals mx plus c, and we get y is equal to -7 over 5x plus 82 over 5. Okay, that is the equation of the tangent. Now, this question has said, give it in the format of ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to get rid of the fractions, and I'm going to multiply by 5 on both sides of the equation. So I'm going to be left with 5y is equal to -7x plus 82. Then I want it to equal to 0, so I'm going to take all of this to the other side of the equation. So 5y plus 7x minus 82 is equal to 0. But they have said ax plus by. They want x to come first and then y. Doesn't change our answer, we just flip them over. So 7x plus 5y minus 82 is equal to 0. And that's it. That's going to be your final answer for this question. Okay? Make sure to give it in the format that they give it in, just to get all the marks. Okay. Okay, last question I'm going to go through in this video is this question here. Work out the total area of the 2 shaded regions. Give your answer in terms of pi. So the way I'm going to do this question is I'm going to create a triangle, an equilateral triangle, because that's the radius, and this here is also a radius. So I'm going to work out the area of an equilateral triangle using half AB sine C. Okay, once I work out the area of this triangle here, I am then going to work out the area of a sector and take away the area of the triangle to get this green shaded bit. Then I'm going to double it to get this green shaded bit as well. And then I'm going to work out the area of a quarter circle. And I'm going to do the area of a quarter circle, subtract the red bit, subtract the green bit, and I'm going to be left with this shaded bit over here. Once I've got this shaded bit over here, I'm going to multiply it by 4, and I will get the total shaded region, the total shaded regions in this diagram. So I'll get this bit as well. And I'll get this bit as well. Okay. Okay, so let's get started. First, I'm going to work out the area of the triangle. Oops. So to work out the area of the triangle, I'm doing half AB sine C. So half times 4 times 4 times sine 60. I should already know sine 60, which is root 3 over 2. So you can substitute that into your equation. Half times 4 is going to be 8. 8 times root 3 over 2 is going to give me 8 root 3 over 2, which simplifies to give me 4 root 3. So the area of a triangle is just 4 root 3. Now I'm going to work out the area of the green shaded bit. Okay, and in order to do the area of the green shaded bit, I need to do the sector take away the triangle. I already worked out the triangle, it's 4 root 3. Sector is going to be 60 over 360 multiplied by pi multiplied by radius squared, so 4 squared. Take away the triangle, which I already know to be 4 root 3. So that's going to be 1/6 multiplied by 16 pi, take away 4 root 3. And that's going to simplify to give me 16 divided by 6 is 8 over 3 pi, take away 4 root 3. And now I'm going to double it because this is there are two green parts. So 2 bracket 8 root 3 pi minus 4 root 3. And that's going to give me 16 over 3 pi, take away 8 root 3. So that is the area of the green shaded bits. Now to work out the total area that we need to subtract, you need to add the area of the triangle and the area of the triangle and the green parts. So I'm going to do total area to subtract, which is going to be 4 root 3 plus 16 over 3 pi minus 8 root 3. 4 root 3 minus 8 root 3 is going to give me minus 4 root 3. So 16 over 3 pi minus 4 root 3. That's the total area that we need to subtract. Now I'm also going to do the area of the quarter circle, which is going to be pi times radius squared divided by 4, which is 16 pi over 4, which is equal to 4 pi. So the area of the quarter circle is 4 pi, and I'm going to subtract the red and the green part, which is this part I've worked out. So to work out the shaded region, I am now going to do 4 pi, take away 16 over 3 pi, take away 4 root 3. Make the denominators the same, so 12 pi, take away 16 pi over 3, take away 4 root 3. Now the minus and the minus is going to become positive, so it's going to become plus 4 root 3. You are left with minus 4 pi over 3 plus 4 root 3. And now you're going to multiply by 4 because there's 4 shaded parts. So 4 bracket minus 4 over 3 pi plus 4 root 3, which is going to give you minus 16 over 3 pi plus 16 root 3. Now I want to write the positive first, so I'm going to write the final answer as 16 root 3 minus 16 over 3 pi. That's my final answer. Now, if I want to factorize this by 16, because I can see 16 in both of them, I'm going to write 16 bracket root 3 minus pi over 3. And that's another way to write down the total shaded area as your final answer. Okay? All right. Well done on this paper, guys. It doesn't matter whether you got all of the answers right or whether you got part of it right. You tried your best, and that's what counts. Okay? Well done to everyone though. And yeah, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.